Hey everybody, I'm not sure if you guys can see me yet, but we are live now in the group. We're going to start training here in just a few minutes. All right, looks like we've got some people coming on. If you would, just please tell me where you are joining us from tonight. Just type in the comments, city and state, where you're joining us from. Hey, Zoraida. Hopefully I said your name right. How are you? Okay, a couple more people coming in. We'll just wait a few minutes and we're going to get started tonight. I promise this is going to be a very short training. I'm going to try to get it down to 30 minutes. I know last time we went over, I think it was like an hour and 15 minutes. I had a lot to share that night. And so I have broken it down into some bite-sized pieces for you guys. So it'll be much shorter tonight. Hi, Rihanna from Cola, South Carolina. Kissimmee, Florida, Zoraida. Yeah, I love Kissimmee. That's normally where we would stay when we would go to Orlando. We'd take the kids down to Disney a couple times and of course Universal Studios. It was just more affordable to rent a little condo in Kissimmee. Beautiful area. All right, guys, if you would, as you're coming in, let me know where you are joining us from, city and state. We are going to be training tonight on the top 7 things you can do to be planning your spring market, things you can do as an agent to be successful. I will be sharing some really good things tonight. Hi, Cameron, glad you're on. All right, how's everybody's weather? Hopefully nobody's dealing with freezing rain or temperatures anymore. Okay, got a few more people coming in. We're going to get started here in just a minute. If anybody has to jump off at any point, there will be a replay, but it will not be uploaded until later. So if you have time to watch it tonight, you're going to get the information firsthand tonight and you'll be able to ask questions afterwards. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, Kimberly, she says it's 73. These comments are delayed, guys. Sorry. Julie's from Central Iowa. Sunny in Las Vegas. Woohoo. Kimberly, that's why you pay for California taxes for California weather. Hey, Florida taxes aren't too bad, and our weather's not much different. I mean, we do have the humidity, but all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and share with you how you can be successful in your real estate business this year. Things that you can be doing now to be successful. All right. Now, hopefully we do not have any issues tonight. I know there has been some issues with Zoom lately. I believe that has a lot to do with how many people are using it. Sorry, guys. I am actually trying to find, there's the mouse. Here we go. Okay. How to hit your income goals in 2021 through reverse engineering. I'm going to talk about 7 things that you can do to become a top producing real estate agent in your market. So the first thing I want you to think about are, what are your income goals for 2021? I think a lot of times as a real estate agent, we're just reactive. You know, somebody calls and says they want to buy or sell a house, we react. If somebody refers business to us, we react. If you're on floor duty at your office and somebody walks in, you react. If you're on a team and your team leader says, hey, I've got this buyer, can you go show them a property? You react. And so I'm talking about, like, what do you want to make this year? If you knew that, if you set a goal that you could make that amount this year, what amount would that be? Now, if you're used to making 50 to 100,000 a year, I'm not talking about $1 million. You know, I'm saying realistically, without, working 80 hours a week, realistically, what would you like to make this year? Most people shoot for double what they're used to making. That is a realistic goal. Honestly, it is. So what are your income goals? I want you to think about that as we are doing the presentation tonight. So how are you going to get there? You know, if you wanted to drive from Florida to California, say I wanted to go visit Kimberly, how would I get there? I need the destination. I need to know what the end goal is. And so you cannot get to your destination unless you know where you're going. And how do you do that without setting goals? Now, a lot of you have probably been in sales before. Some of you may have even been an agent for a while. So you're familiar with goal setting. But for those who are new and have never really had to set a goal before, you need to have a goal. You need to know where you're going moving forward. Now, it's more than just goals though. You need a vision. You need to know why you're working. What is your why? Why are you going to go out here and work with clients who sometimes are unappreciative? Why are you going to write up multiple offers for a buyer, knowing in the back of your mind, you may have to go through 3 or 4 before you get the contract accepted? What's going to make you get up and go do an open house on Sunday? These are your goals. This is what your vision is for. Are you trying to pay off debt? Maybe you're wanting to buy a new home. You know, I think it's important for agents to live in a home that they love, because it helps you do the same for others. You know, you can say, hey, I was in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and I too bought a house, and I've been through the process. It's great for agents to have their own home. Maybe you want to buy a new car. You know, honestly, about 10 years ago, I was kind of in a little bit of a rut as an agent, and I just felt like I was working just to pay my bills. And I saw this really cool car going down the road, and I was like, what is that? I have got to have that. And I set a goal, and within 8 months, I bought that car. And so sometimes it doesn't have to be a big goal. It could be something, just maybe you want a new car. Maybe your car's got 200,000 miles on it and you need a new car. Or maybe you want to go on vacation. You know, prior to Dwayne and I really exploding in our business, we were lucky to go to Florida once a year. We got to a point where we were so busy in our real estate business, when we were in full swing up in Nashville before we got into coaching, we would take a vacation every quarter. And we needed those vacations because we were putting in 50 to 70 hours a week, and we were going nonstop. And so maybe you need a vacation. Maybe your vacation got canceled like ours did 5 times because of COVID. Has anybody else's vacations got canceled because of COVID? Because I know we've already tried to book a cruise like 5 times and they keep canceling it. So step 1 is to create a vision board. Now you're like, what the heck does this have to do with real estate, Amanda? Okay, work with me here. Stay with me because this is important. I would not have put it as step 1 if it was not important. Yes, this can apply to multiple industries, but we're talking about real estate and loan officers right now, okay? Create a vision board. You have to see your goal in front of you every single day. It's about motivation. It's about knowing your why, keeping it in front of your face. You may think, oh, I know I want a new house. Oh, I know I want a new car. There's something psychological, and I'm not a psychologist, so I can't explain why, but there is something psychological with you having it on a board, or it doesn't have to be like a big board. It doesn't have to be a cork board. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be on a poster board. It could be anything you want. It could just be a bunch of pages printed out and taped on the wall somewhere. I mean, it's up to you how fancy or how big you go, but you need to create a vision board of the things that you want to do with the money that you make in your real estate business. You know, maybe you want to bless people. Maybe you want to start a ministry, or maybe you want to give to those in need, or maybe you want to, you know, buy things for your grandkids and spoil them. You know, there's other things besides buying a house, buying a car, and paying off debt. All of these things are what makes you get up in the morning and go. And so create a vision board. Now, you say, well, okay, how do you do that? For those who don't know what a vision board is, it's basically what it says. It's a board that's in front of you every single day that has all of your dreams, hopes, and goals on it so you can stay focused. So First of all, you need to be very specific in your goals. Do not put on your vision board, take a vacation. You need to put where you want to go along with a real life picture of the place. For example, I love Aruba. I equally love Curacao. So I would put like take a trip to Aruba with a picture of Aruba on my vision board because that's where I want to go. Number 2, don't make it so complicated. Don't make your vision board so complicated that it takes you hours to complete. Just keep it simple. Number 3, if you want to make a specific amount of money, break it down into transactions. If one closing makes you $10,000 and you want to make $100,000 and you need to close 10 deals. So your goal would then be to close 1 deal per month. So when you break it down like that, it's like bite-sized pieces. It's more manageable, it's more believable, it's more attainable. So number 4, you want to hang it in a place where you will see it multiple times per day and be able to like really look at it. I'm not talking about like hanging it on the wall in your office because you're really not going to look at it in your office because you're going to be at your desk most likely working. So you're not going to sit there and look at it all day. You're going to laugh at me, but put it in the bathroom. A lot of people will put things like this in their bathroom. You can hang it on your mirror. If you want to laminate laminate something, you can hang it in your shower. So while you're washing your hair, you're looking at it. But you're only really getting to look at it once or twice a day in those instances. My favorite place, and y'all can laugh at me if you want to, but I am a goal setter and I achieve my goals. And this is why. My favorite place to hang my vision board is in front of the toilet. If you have a wall there, it's a great piece of real estate to hang that vision board. If you've got a door that shuts, you could put it on the back of that door. Just wherever you can see it from the toilet is a really good place to hang it because you're going to visit that spot several times per day. Moving on, number 5, make realistic goals. If you made $60,000 in 2020 and it's not unrealistic for you to put $120,000 this year as your goal, but putting $500,000 or $1 million, like I said earlier, is a little bit too lofty and may frustrate you. Is it attainable? Yes. Can it happen? Yes. But be realistic. Because it's just going to frustrate you, halfway through the year when you're not even halfway to that goal. You know what I mean? So you want it to be realistic. Number 6, this is just from my personal experience. Don't share what you put on your vision board with everybody. You think there's, everybody's rooting for you, or you think that they see something that you want as important. It may not be important to them. So just for your sake, just keep your eye on the prize. Don't share it with everybody. That's your personal goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Number 7, do not take your vision board down until December 31st, 2021. No matter how discouraged you get, keep it up and look at it daily because it will keep you motivated. And even if you don't hit every single goal dead on the money, you're going to come so close. And sometimes you'll even surpass your goals. And then the next year, you get bigger goals. And that's fun. I do this every year. I have for well over a decade. And I actually put crazy ostentatious things on my vision board now because I'm a believer. I believe it because I see it 5 to 6 times a day. And it just becomes part of me. Like, yep, I'm going to do it. Yep, that's going to happen. Yep, by the end of this year. And it does. Very, very rarely. One year, I put on my vision board that I wanted to meet 6 famous people. 6. I was just testing the theory. Like, there's some things that you have control over. Like, if I work harder, I can make more money, right? But to just randomly meet 6 famous people in 1 year, yeah, that's really putting it out there. I met Montgomery Gentry, and it was Troy Gentry and Eddie Montgomery. This was many, many years ago. I think it was 2012, 2013. I got to meet them. I met Mac Powell with Third Day. I got to meet a band that I loved as a teenager, all in the same year. And it was like, and then when I went back after the fact and I was like, did I meet 6 famous people this year? It was 6 on the money. And I was like, I should have put 10. So if you put it on your vision board, and if you really truly believe that you can achieve it, you will achieve it. Moving on. There is a kit that you can buy online. It's like 20 bucks. It's on Amazon. It's a vision board kit. It's got like 150 images, 150 words and affirmations that you can cut and paste on your vision board. It also comes with a motivational visualization journal. I can't say that word tonight. And a law of attraction guide. And so we teach you how to attract buyers and sellers. And so that would be just a nice little thing for you to read, to understand the law of attraction. That's kind of what I was just talking about meeting the famous people. So if you would like that link to that product on Amazon, I don't get paid if you buy that. That's some random person out there selling that. But it is a very good thing to help you with your vision board. If you're one of those people that's not super creative and you want some fun, cute things to put on it, I think it's like 20 bucks. So you can type in link in the comments and I will send you that link. Now, step 2, this is the good stuff. We're going to calculate your income goals. So how do you do that? And so let's say you want to make $240,000 this year. You would start off by dividing that by 12 months. And so then your income would be $20,000 per month right here. Okay. And then you look at your average home sales price. And let's say in your market, your average home sale price is $300,000. You would then multiply that by the percentage that you earned on that side of the transaction. I know a lot of markets, the listing agent is only collecting a 5% fee, or they're only paying the buyer's agent 2.5%. So I just went ahead and based this off of 2.5%. For those of you who are making a little bit less, for those of you who are still getting 6% and splitting it 3% each side, this number would be a little bit higher. But for this example, I went with 2.5%. So the average home sale price of $300,000 is going to yield a commission of $7,500. Now, depending on which brokerage you're with, you're going to have different splits. Some of you are on 100%. Some of you are 90-10. Some are 80-20. Some are 70-30. I know some of you are on teams where you're making 50-50. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you are actually generating your own deal. And let's say you are on an 80-20. So this will fluctuate depending on what split you're on, but this is based off an 80-20. And so you're going to take this $7,500 and multiply that times 0.80. And that's what you have left after paying your broker. And so you're going to make $6,000 off of a $300,000 deal. And so now in order for you to determine how many deals that you need to close per year or per month, you're going to take that $20,000 number that we got over here, and you're going to divide that by your gross net, which is the $6,000 after your broker split. And that averages out to 40 transactions per year, which is about 3.33 per month. And so you need to close 3 transactions per month and 1 extra transaction per quarter to meet that 3.33 per month. Now that's off of an average home sale price of $300,000, making 2.5% on an 80-20 split. If your average home sale price is $500,000 and you're getting 3% and you're on a 90-10 split, then that number is going to be much lower. You're not going to have to do 3.3 transactions per month. They're probably closer to 2 or 2.5. But this is just an example, guys. So now step 3. You're going to determine the number of people that you need to talk to in order to hit your goal. And so if you want to make $240,000 a year, just like we talked about in the previous example, that's $20,000 a month. You're going to need 3.33 closings per month. And let's just say that your closing ratio is 10%. Mine and Dwayne's is more like 20%. But I like to cut that in half because I realize that not everybody has sales experience, and not everybody's comfortable with certain aspects of the closing process. So I put 10%, so that's fair. Then you would need to have 33.3 leads per month, so 100 leads a quarter coming in with a 10% close ratio to make that 240,000 a year. Now, keeping with the same close ratio, if you got 55 leads per month, that's 5 closings, you'd be making 30,000 a month, and that's about 360,000 a year. Now that's based off the previous example with getting 2.5% and an 80-20 split with your brokerage. This is what all of these numbers were based off of. Now, if you wanted to make 480,000 a year, that's 40,000 a month. You would need 6.67 closings if your average home sale price was 300,000 and your close ratio was 10%. You need about 66 to 67 leads per month, people to talk to about buying or selling real estate. Not so bad, huh? Now, you may be thinking, that's a lot of math, Amanda. I don't know if I can do all that. Okay, so we've created a real estate income calculator where you can plug in your custom personal numbers to determine your individual income goals. So over here, you can see you just plug in how much you want to make a month. You put in your average home sale price right here. Then you put in your average commission. So if you're getting 3% on the buying side and 3% on the selling side, you put 3%. If it's 2.5%, you put 2.5%. You do your company split, whatever you're making, whatever your cut. I don't know why it says 79%. Nobody gets 79%, but it was, you would put 80 or 70, whatever your cut is, you put that there. And then this is going to calculate some things over here. You can go in and change some of this stuff. And so it'll give you how many closings that you need to hit that income goal. So basically it does what we just talked about, except you're reverse engineering it here. You're not having to really do all that math and multiply this and divide this by that. You're just plugging in the numbers, boom, 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 and then it spits it out right here. And so we would like to give that to you for free. And so if you want the reverse engineering income calculator, just comment calculator in the comments. Just type in calculator and we will get that to you. Now you're thinking, okay, you know your income goals, right? So how many leads would you actually need in order to hit that? Well, again, that's in the income calculator, but then what? Then what are you going to do? You need a lead source that generates leads for you monthly like a well-oiled machine. You need confidence that you're going to get a consistent result based on the effort that you put in. We're approaching the spring market. We've already lost January and February. So for those of you who have been building pipeline, congratulations. For those of you who got a little bit of a slow start, that's okay. It's still not too late to build your pipeline. Everything that you put in today usually closes about 90 days from now. And so if you want to start having consistent closings, then you need consistent results. You need something that that if you do A, B, and C, you're going to get X, Y, Z consistently, month after month after month. So there's no downtime. There's no dead zone. There's no, 2 or 3 months where you have no transactions closing. You have consistent closings happening every month. And so if you're interested on how you can get consistent closings every single month, just like a well-oiled machine, just type in the comments leads, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get some information to you. Just type in leads in the comments. Now, step 4, you have to have a system. Systems run companies, but people run the systems. You need a smooth process to take a client from clicking on your ad to the closing table. A good system for a real estate agent is going to include the following. You're going to have follow-up. You need automation. You need a calendar to keep you organized. You need processes and systems that are going to make it smooth for you. That's the only way you're going to be able to sustain something like that, to have that kind of volume and not to have those pockets of months with no closings. You need processes and systems in place. You need post-closing campaigns and strategies to get repeat business and referrals. And then obviously when you get those referrals, you need to know what to do next. How do you leverage that to get more business? So you can try to piece a system together yourself, or you can use a system that's turnkey and designed for real estate agents. And so there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We've done it for you. So if you'd like to learn more about the systems that we have in place for realtors and loan officers, just comment system. Again, a member of our team will get something over to you. It might be Dwayne or myself. It could be somebody, Michelle, or someone else on the team. We'll get you some information. Now, step 5, build a power team. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a lot of people to be successful in real estate. I mean, you can only do so much as one person yourself. And I know a lot of you are doing this part-time. Most of you have a full-time job and you're actually looking to go into real estate full-time. And so in the beginning, it may be hard to do some of this stuff by yourself. And so what I recommend, if you want to crush 2021 and hit high income goals, then I suggest you get 2 to 3 aggressive loan officers with a proven track record. Now, to me, I feel like good loan officers are the key to your business. They are the lifeblood to your business. And so for those loan officers that are listening right now, you're welcome. Realtors and loan officers, it seems to be there's like this disconnect. And I used to be a loan officer, so I know what it's like to be on both sides of the table. As a loan officer, we love realtors. We want their business. I remember, you know, when I got into loans way back in the late 90s, I would like literally try to buy realtors. Like I would give them things and offer them, you know, things and part of the transaction and all, you know, all these, whatever I could get away with. That's what we were trying everything we could to get real estate agents to do business with us. I would take their worst clients on and take, you know, get their credit repaired and get that person closed to prove to that realtor, you know, I'm going to close everything you send me. So just send me, you know, all those people with bad credit and stuff, you know, that's how I would get my foot in the door with them. And then eventually they just want to send all their business to the same person. And that loan officer they'd been using for 5 years was sitting fat and happy, not having to work hard to get anybody's business. And so they were not even trying to do that, the low credit scores and things like that. They didn't want to mess with it. And so now this agents, you know, these different agents that we were working with would be like, oh my gosh, these people are amazing. They're getting everybody approved. I mean, yeah, some of them are taking 6 to 9 months, but they're closing. Whereas the other guy, he only wants my A credit. He's not even trying to help me get the other deals. You know, and you're making an agent $30,000 to $40,000 extra a year. That's going to get their attention. Well, nowadays it doesn't seem to be that way. And I think a lot of it's because loan officers just don't make as much money as they used to. But that means you just need to do more business. And so for me, I feel like as a realtor, if a loan officer is not being aggressive, they're not calling your clients, they're not trying to get them over into credit repair, they're not working with the people that you're sending them, they're just being like, oh, sorry, can't help that one. That's not your loan officer. That's not a good fit. You need to find somebody who's hungry, who's aggressive, that you say, hey, if I send you 65 to 100 leads a month, are you going to call them? Are you going to run their credit? Are you going to, you know, let me know, hey, these guys are ready to buy. Go show them a house. This is what they're qualified for. You know, that's the kind of loan officer you need. And you don't just want one, you want 2 or 3. That way, if one of them gets super, super busy, you've still got 2, you know, 1 or 2 more that you can send the business to. And maybe one loan officer, their company's guidelines can't get that person approved, but you switch them over to another company and they can. So, because we used to use different ones. And so you'll find out real quickly who can and cannot get things done. Don't think that all loan programs are the same or that all loan officers or all loan companies are the same. They're not. They're not. And so make sure you get 2 to 3 really good loan officers. That is going to be a big key in your success for your business. You're going to want 2 to 3 efficient and reputable title companies. If you're not already working with the title company that you thoroughly love and enjoy, and they're doing you right and taking care of your clients, then ask around your office. Find out who other agents who are producing, who are they using? Who do you recommend as a title company? We've had some really good title companies over the years that we absolutely love. They would bend over backwards and get things done for us quickly. We didn't have to call and chase them. Did you get that title work back? Well, what did you find out about that issue with the deed? We didn't have to chase them down. They were on it. They had systems and things in place too. But we have tried some other title companies that it was just a nightmare. Every time you turned around, they didn't know where anything was. They hadn't ordered the title search. Closings got delayed because there was something on title and they didn't catch it. Now it's a week out and the person's on vacation and they can't get it. It's just, you'll learn really quickly if you're new in the business, who's good and who's not. And you want to have 2 to 3 really good title companies. Home inspectors. Again, it's like loan officers and title companies. They're not all created equal. We had a guy, a very large guy who was a home inspector, and there was a crawl space on a house that was like itty bitty, like maybe somebody who was 100 pounds wet could fit under there. I mean, we're talking a tiny crawl space. And he did the inspection on this house and he found a lot of things wrong with the house, but the major issues that were on this particular house were all discoverable had somebody got under the crawl space. Now I understand because of his size, he couldn't physically get under there, but that's an instance where you need to know that they've got somebody who can get that aspect of the job done. I'm not trying to judge somebody based on size, but if you're a home inspector and you can't fit under the crawl space, that's a problem. You know, that's maybe you need a retractable camera or something, because there was literally water damage underneath every toilet, every bathroom sink, the kitchen sink. There was mold and rot under the kitchen sink. Literally the floors and the majority of the beams that went under the floors, support beams, were rotted out. And if somebody had just went under that crawl space, it would have been caught. This literally cost the buyer $40,000. Like, they were willing to sue any and everybody involved. So this part is very important. Make sure you have good home inspectors who can get the job done, who are going to crawl up on the roof, who are going to go under the crawl space. They're going to get down and dirty because that's what they're being paid to do. And so this is, again, you want things to be smooth, and having these people in place is going to help things be smooth for you, and it's going to help you go faster. You're going to be successful because you're not going to get bogged down dealing with stuff that really other people are getting paid to do. You're going to want transaction coordinators. If you're not doing more than 10 to 12 transactions a year, it's okay. You don't need a transaction coordinator. But there are some really good contract to close companies out there that once you get the listing agreement or the ratified contract for your buyer, you can literally hand that file over to them and they can process the rest of it all the way to closing. The only thing that they cannot do in most states is when it gets to the time of inspection, they cannot negotiate for you anything like that. You have to type it up and everything. Still, as an agent, you'll still have to do that, but they can chase it down for you. Once that is sent to the buyer, at that point, they'll call and say, hey, did you sign that DocuSign or that Authentic sign? I need that back. They'll chase it down. They'll then at that point get it to the seller's agent. Then they'll chase it down from the seller's agent. See, if there's a lot of things that you do as a real estate agent, that takes up your time, that you're chasing things down all the time for signatures and stuff, you can literally pass the buck to them. It's anywhere between $400 to $500 a transaction, and you can actually charge your buyer or seller on the settlement statement. On the CD, you can put that on there. It's a third-party expense, just like the title company or the inspector or appraisers, that's on there too. But that is something that we started using probably about 10 years ago. And oh my gosh, it freed up so much time. And then I was able to go do what I do best, and that is talk to people about buying and selling real estate, show property, and take listing agreements. I mean, that freed up my time. And so that can free up your time too. If you're a busy agent or you're trying to go to the next level, you need to look into that. Also, if you're trying to double your business this year, you may need a buyer's agent. If you're already doing like 2 to 4 transactions a month right now, and you're trying to go to that next level, you may need a buyer agent that can go out with some of the, let's say in your market, the average home sale price is $300,000. You may want to take everything 300,000 over, and you may want to find a buyer's agent who's willing to work everything else that's less than 300,000. Because when you get into that first time home buyer range, you're getting into the multiple offer situations and things like that, which takes up more of your time. And so the time that you're spending on things like that, you could have gone out and got 2 or 3 more clients that were maybe looking at $400,000, $500,000 homes. But you don't want to leave that money on the table either. So split it with a buyer's agent. That's if you're already busy and you're trying to go to the next level. Same thing with seller's agents. I would not give away listings or do 50-50 splits just yet, unless you are just to the point you've got a buyer's agent. They're already taking care of all of the buyers. And now you're at the point where the listings are starting to overwhelm you. Maybe give some of those out, but I would reserve that to last, because you can take the listings. It's a seller's market. Listings, for the most part, are not super problematic. You do have the multiple buyers, multiple offer situations to contend with, but that's a very small problem to have. So, but yeah, again, you're just building a team at that point. You're trying to build your power team. And so finally, I like to lovingly call this person the gopher. I don't really say that's not their title, but you call this person the gopher. They're the person, they're a teenage boy or a young stay-at-home mom that's trying to pick up, 10, 15 hours a week part-time. And they go out and they put your signs out. They make sure your boxes are full of flyers. They put the lock boxes on the house. And then they go and they pick everything back up. They're putting the sold sign or pending sign on your signs when that goes pending, things like that. That's your gopher. That person's going to save you 5 to 10 hours a week if you are doing the type of production that you're wanting to do. And I'm going to get something to drink right now, guys. Woo! I'm a talker, but still, I got to get something to drink. Step number 6, and we are almost done. I'm going to hit that 45-minute mark tonight. Step 6, time blocking. It is essential that if you time block, you will be a successful agent. You have to. It's almost impossible to run your business without time blocking, especially if you're working with 4 or more clients. It's going to be really hard to keep everything together. Like I said earlier, there's third-party vendors that can help you out with some of the things, your paperwork, your automation, things like that. There's also some automation and things in place that can help you with the front end of your prospecting. We have a lot of things like that in place. However, you as an agent need to have your finger on the pulse of your business daily in order to be successful. Let's take prospecting, for example. If you've got 4 to 6 clients that you're working with and you're running here and there and you're doing this, doing the paperwork and all this, going to closings, going to inspections, looking at inspection reports, typing up inspection, repair proposals, all these things, you're chasing down your paperwork, your signatures, you may not have time to prospect. But here's the reality. If you do not prospect on a regular basis, when those clients close and you're done, you're going to be sitting there with an empty pipeline and no business. And then you're going to be 90 to 120 days out before you have another closing. That's why a lot of agents end up only closing 6 to 12 deals a year, because they start off strong, January, February, March, they're building, boom, everything starts closing. March, April, boom. Now they're in May and there's nothing on the books. Now they're trying to build again. May, June, July, boom, 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 boom. Closings, July, August, September. Then boom, they're dead in the water again. And it's like this constant up and down, up and down. And there's a better way. And so I suggest time blocking to avoid those big curves in your real estate business. So here I've got closings and inspections. Obviously, you want to attend your closings, you want to attend your inspections. I know busier agents, once you get to a certain level in volume, you're going to send out a different person for your closings and inspections. A young agent who's starting out, somebody new on your team, you're going to send them out for that. Trainings and meetings. I mean, obviously you have to set aside time for your continuing education. That's part of life. If you know that you have to do 16 hours by a certain day, well, it's better just to break that stuff up in little bite-sized pizzas. If your brokerage requires you to come to at least one meeting a month, that's going to be a 1 to 2 hour time block. And so you have to block those things off. If you're still doing your paperwork, obviously you have to set aside time to do your paperwork. A lot of times it's a knee-jerk reaction. You're like, oh, we got to go show this house. Oh, there's multiple offers. We got to do the contract. We got to write it up right now. Okay, fine. I get that. You may have had something else scheduled for that time, but whatever was scheduled for that time didn't get done. And so now it's missing. You're missing that piece of your business, and all of a sudden you get a little out of whack. Oh, well, I got to chase that down. Oh my gosh, I got to run to this inspection. That came up suddenly. That happens literally like almost daily for a real estate agent. I get it. But everything that you push back, usually prospecting, is going to throw your business out of balance, going to throw it out of whack. So you need to make up for that time when that happens, because prospecting, that is the lifeline of your business. If you're not prospecting, then you don't have business. Obviously, you got to meet your clients. You've got to show property. You've got to meet your listings. You've got to, sometimes you have a pre-listing appointment, then you have the actual listing appointment, and sometimes you got to go back. And so I get it. You still have to have that time to meet your clients, and you don't always know when that's going to be. So for you to say, I'm going to do paperwork Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Well, that might not always work, because your client may only be able to meet you at 10 a.m. one of those days. Well, I'm only prospecting new business every night from 6 to 7 p.m. Well, that's great. But then what if that new hot listing comes on the market at 5 p.m. and your client doesn't get off until 6 and they need to see it right away? There went that out the window. So you have to be flexible with the time blocking. You have to figure out what you're shifting and what's going to go back in that place. And then email and follow up. Email, I mean, obviously you have to check your emails. It's part of your business. You have to do your follow up, but email it can be a time suck. So typically what I do, and I recommend to others, and it works well for me, is I check my emails. I have a 30-minute block in the morning where I check them, and anything urgent gets taken care of. And then I don't check them again until the afternoon around 2 p.m. And then again, anything urgent gets taken care of. Because if you're sitting there constantly checking your email every other hour or every 30 minutes, you're spending a lot of time checking emails, and that's really not making you any money. And then as far as follow-up goes, there's things that you can do, automation that you can do that can actually save you time. But still, you're going to have your own personal follow-up as well. So if you need help in any of the areas I have discussed tonight, I would love to chat with you on a complimentary 15-minute triage call. Now, what I'll do is I will screen your current business plan, just like a doctor that checks their patient's health. During our chat, I will go over the life force of your business, where you are currently and where you want to be. At this point, I will offer suggestions and help you move in the right direction. I do have limited availability and I book up fast. So if you would like the link to my calendar, comment calendar, and either Dwayne or myself or a member of our team will get that link to you. Now, before we end tonight, I want to leave you with the final step to help you be a successful real estate agent. Step number 7 is have the right attitude. Being a real estate agent can make you feel like you're on a roller coaster at times. You're up, you're down. Business is good, business is slow. We touched on that tonight. But the key to being a successful agent truly is in having the right attitude. If you're consistent with income producing activities and you do not give up, you will hit your goals. Guys, I believe every single one of you wants to be successful. You found this group on Facebook. You were searching for information. You want to do well. You don't want to have to go back to your career before this. You don't want to keep working that full-time job if you're a part-time agent. You want to make this a full-time career, and you are at the right place at the right time. And Dwayne and myself and our team, we can help you. So again, if you would like to speak with me or Dwayne or anyone on my team and see what we can do to help you go to that next level, go ahead and book that call with me. Just type in calendar. I would love to speak with you. It's not a sales call. It's just a 15-minute chat about where you are in your real estate business and where you want to be. Guys, that's all the time we have tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put that in the group. I will answer those, or Dwayne will answer those, and would love to be able to help you and see what we can do to help you go to the next level in your business. Thanks, guys. Have a blessed one.